How's it going, everybody? I'm out on a ride with Luke and his son Wyatt. Luke I actually did a podcast with. He's a search and rescue helicopter pilot, and this year him and his son Wyatt have started to get into dirt bikes a little bit here, and so they wanted to get together and do a little ride and kind of get a little bit of instruction. I'm not like a super instructor or anything, but today we're going to be just working on a few different skills. We just started our ride. Wyatt here is on a TTR125, I believe, and I've just been watching him, kind of made some suggestions for him in his foot position, and I think we're going to move his levers. I was looking at the levers, they're really far down. I don't know that he can actually cover them properly, and so we're going to talk about that here in just a little bit. I've already talked to him back at the trucks, but now I'm going to explain why I think this is so critical, because something that I'm always doing is covering. You can see if I look down, I'm always covering my clutch and I'm covering my brake. I don't always cover my front brake when I'm going uphill, but you can bet your bottom dollar I'm covering my front brake when I'm going downhill all the time. So even right now, I've got one finger on the clutch, one finger on the brake, and if you have your levers in the wrong position, it can be nigh impossible to cover. So we're going to talk about that. I haven't been able to observe his dad as well, Luke up there, because I've got Wyatt here in front of me. But I just love when, whoa. We got a traffic jam. Dad slowed up his son here. You're doing great. These guys really just started riding this year, and I think they're doing absolutely phenomenal. They're standing up. They're going for it. Hate that neutral. I hate hitting neutral. That's so frustrating. Looks like he popped up this second. Let's see if he can. Yeah, the bike might not want to start in second gear. Here, you can roll back right into me. I got you. You're doing great. There we go. Whoa, shoot. You okay? Yeah. You all right? Here, let me help you. Sometimes it just gets, you just kind of get frustrated with yourself and you make a mistake. That time it looked like you just kind of climbed up the wall there. We'll get you back up there. Have you done this type of trail before? Oh. Kinda. It adds a little bit of an extra challenge when it's tight like that, and you got these curved walls. You know what I mean? But you're doing fine. You're doing fine. You don't need to go too fast. Just go at your own pace. We've all been there. I've been there. A lot more than you'd ever believe. It is so true. It's so easy. I've done that same thing that Wyatt just did. I can't even tell you how many times. You start to climb up one side of the trail, and the next thing you know, you're over on the other side of it, down for the count. Happens to me all the time. Now we'll ride behind Luke and just kind of check his body position here. His toes are pointed in, which is great. It's hard on those hills, right? Because your wheel starts to climb up out. So
hard on those hills, like it's trying to stay standing.
Yeah. Well, so is it what's the struggle? Is the struggle just to hold on enough, or
feel a comfortable position?
Okay. Yeah, the steeper the hill, sometimes you have to shift your weight further and further forward. The balancing act there is if you get too far forward, you can take a lot of weight off the rear wheel. So sometimes you have to really crouch the legs and kind of get your butt back, like up in a crouched position and get your butt back. But yeah, it can take a lot of arm strength to stay standing.
You're going downhill, it's natural from mountain biking and stuff.
Yeah.
But going uphill, it just feels awkward still.
Yeah, and I mean, some of this is gonna feel awkward. The beautiful thing is the more you do it, the more it'll become natural. Yeah. Yeah, well, it's tough because you didn't get a good run before that, you know, and so I totally understand that. That's what some of these balance drills do for us, is they help us to get comfortable standing up when we don't have a lot of forward momentum. Right. It's easy to stand up when you're going fast. It's hard to stand up when you're going slow, you know, and that's why the balance stuff is so important, is because you retrain your brain to be like, I can stay standing even though I don't have a lot of momentum, you know? And then you can get through something like that, even where it's like I didn't have a lot of momentum, and I'm like, you had the good line, but I'm like, I know I can pop up through these rocks because I've got that balance, and it's just a mental thing.
Well, I think starting out on the pegs, like get them weighted, start out that way instead of starting sitting trying to transition up.
Yeah, and it all comes in time. Like, you guys are doing so awesome. Please don't get down on yourself. Like, you're doing this trail is tricky, you know, in certain spots, and so you guys are doing awesome, especially for how, like, if this is your first year riding, you guys are killing it. Now I'm purposely hitting the rocks in the trail, since we're going a little bit under the pace I'd normally go. What I'm doing now is looking for creative lines and things that we can hit, that I can hit. And again, that's in no way like a diss on these guys. They're doing awesome.